I tend to focus when I want my hair to grow. Hi loves! First of all, happy Valentine's Day. I'm Phoebe Alexis, and on this channel, we mainly focus on all things natural hair. For today's video, I'll be answering some of your dilemmas that you sent to me via my Instagram page. Before I start though, I'd like to remind you that if you're not already following me, please do follow me at _ Phoebe Alexis for my personal page and 4C with Fifi for my hair page, and this is on Instagram. So, someone sent me on my Instagram hair page the following dilemma. It's at it's madam _K, and she says, I'm transitioning right now and the damage and breakage is a lot in capital letters. I'm also afraid to trim my hair by myself. Help. Firstly, I completely understand the problems with transitioning. For those of you who know me personally, you'll know that I used to be relaxed and then transitioned. Well, I did both the big chop and I transitioned to get to my natural hair. So I also struggled with transitioning, hence I big chop eventually. The thing about transitioning is that it's like a full-time, not just a full-time job, but working 2 full-time jobs, because not only are you taking care of your natural hair, but you'll also have to take care of your ends, which are relaxed. For those of you who don't know what transitioning is, it's the process of gradually converting from relaxed hair to natural hair. So basically, you let your natural hair grow out and you stop relaxing it completely. And as your hair grows, you trim the ends so that eventually all the relaxed hair has been cut off and you're left with an out. So basically, when you're transitioning, you have 2 hair textures on your head, and this can be very difficult to maintain. What I would suggest is, since you plan on being natural, is to treat all of your hair like it's natural. And I think this will at least help with your breakage and your damage, because from what I've noticed and from what I've gathered is, when you have natural hair, you tend to take care of it more. You tend to put in a lot more effort, whereas with relaxed hair, it's a little bit more easier because you don't have to do much, but with natural hair, it's a process. So I don't think that there's any harm in treating your relaxed hair like it's natural. For instance, putting in deep conditioner on your roots, using the LCO method, that's liquid, cream, and oil. I use LCO as opposed to LOC. I'll tell you why in another video. But yeah, so I suggest treat your hair as if all of it is natural. This way, it will help you once you're completely natural. You've already gotten into the habit and you've gotten used to having natural hair, and it won't be a process. Okay, the second part of this dilemma deals with trimming, and I want to relate this to breakage as well. Part of the reason that your hair, you're experiencing a lot of breakage, is because the ends of your hair, especially if you're transitioning, this is assuming that you have no pre-existing medical conditions that is causing your hair to fall out and it's just naturally becoming weaker at the ends. Your hair at the ends have been on your head for the longest time, and then think about it. Your ends are still relaxed, and relaxing is a chemical process, which means that there's chemical damages to the end of your hair. So that could be the cause of the breakage, and I think the only way to remedy this is, I'm sorry to say, trim it. You said you don't know how to trim your hair. What was it? Wait, is it you don't know how to trim your hair, or it's, oh, you're afraid to trim your hair? Girl, don't be afraid. It's just hair, it will grow back. Honestly, your hair will grow a lot better. Bruh. Your hair will grow a lot better and a lot healthier when you get rid of all your dead ends. So girl, just cut it. And if you're scared, I would suggest trim it try maybe a centimeter at a time. And what I would suggest you do is maybe wet your hair so that you can see where your natural hair ends and where your relaxed hair starts. So when your hair, trim your hair in a wet state. And yeah, I think that should work. That should help. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, girl, you need to cut it. You just, you have to do it. And me personally, I would even go as far as saying just big chop, just cut all the relaxed hair off and start afresh. I know for me, I didn't want to do that when I was transitioning. So I started off transitioning, but I hated it. And I had never had, well, it had been a long time since I had natural hair. So I didn't know what to do with it. So what I did was I allowed my hair to grow to a length where I was able to braid it. Like my natural hair was long enough for me to braid it. So that when I did big chop, I big chopped, but I still had like a tiny afro that I wore in braids all the time until it was at a length that I was comfortable styling as an afro. So yeah, you could do that, but yeah, trim it in a wet state so that you can see where your natural hair is and where your relaxed hair begins, where your natural hair ends and your relaxed hair begins. That way you're not cutting hair unnecessarily, because yeah, I would also be afraid to just cut my hair unnecessarily. Imagine your afro growing and then you just cut it. No. So rather wet your hair first, then maybe twist it up or do 3-strand twist so that you can see until where your natural hair ends, or until the marker, if it's 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 1 inch, I don't know which metric system you're using, but plait your hair to that point and then trim the rest. And that would be manageable, and you should be able to do that by yourself. If not, what I would suggest is, although I don't really go to hair salons anymore, but you could always go to the hair salon and tell them exactly what you want. Remember, you are the customer and you are paying. So you tell them, I want this. If you tell them, I want 1 centimeter cut off, they should be able to do that for you. Although sometimes, depending on what types of hair salons or hairdressers you go to, they may not be welcome to criticism or to the client telling them what to do. But for me, I've never really had that issue as a natural for all the times, although I rarely go to natural to hair salons. I do occasionally go, and every time I have gone, I bring my own shampoo, I bring my own conditioner. I still pay for full price for the service even though I'm using my own products, but I would rather be comfortable telling them that, hey, this is what I want, this is exactly what I want, this is the product I use, rather than go there and trust someone else with your own hair and then you're mad at them at the end of the hair appointment because you didn't tell them how you want your hair. Now, once you've trimmed your hair and your ends are looking at least a little bit healthier, in order to prevent breakage or any further breakage or any further damage, I suggest you really start paying attention to your ends. The thing about hair growth is that for me personally, I tend to focus, when I want my hair to grow, I tend to focus on my scalp and my ends, because obviously your scalp has to be healthy because that's where the hair grows from. But what people tend to forget about is the ends. If sometimes it may seem as if your hair is not growing, when in actuality it's growing, but the ends keep breaking off. So I would suggest that you start focusing on your scalp and your ends. And by this I mean sealing your ends with an oil of your choice. Or when you deep conditioning, focus on the ends of your hair. Because your scalp, the hair coming from your scalp is new. It's fine. Like if you like to base your hair, once you base it like once a week or once a month, however often you base your hair, your scalp really doesn't need that much maintenance, but your ends do. Like they need to be moisturized all the time. And by moisture, I don't mean oil. Moisture implies water, so your hair needs water. Spray your ends, even if it's just when you remember. You don't have to do it religiously every day. I need to set an alarm clock to do this and do that. But if you remember, spray your hair with, if you have a spray bottle, just with water. A better suggestion will be water and mix with conditioner, or my favorite concoction, which is rice water mixed with conditioner. And spray it when you remember. Spray it on occasion. You don't have to like have a 20-step hair care routine in order for your hair to grow. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't do it every day. I do it when I remember. And then sometimes I do it religiously every day for a week. It just depends on my mood, depends on what I'm going through. If school is hectic, if life is just hectic, then I forget. So I would suggest spraying your hair, getting a spray bottle, spraying your hair on occasion with water and with conditioner, and sealing your ends with an oil of your choice. It can be coconut oil, olive oil, whatever. I make a concoction of oils, so yeah. I use all of the oils, so all of the oils are fine. I don't think there's any oil that's not healthy for your hair. And also, maybe if you have like a cream, I use Aunt Jackie's curls custard. I don't know what the name is, but yeah, I use that as my C in my LCO. So I spray my hair with the liquid, which is my concoction of rice water and deep conditioner, and then I follow up with a cream, and then over the cream I put an oil, and then I twist my hair up and I leave it alone. That's another thing. Don't over manipulate your hair. Oh my gosh, over manipulating your hair can cause breakage, and it might not be a matter of your hair being damaged. It's just that you touching it all the time. Let your hair breathe. And then yeah, I think that should combat the breakage and the damage. Well, I think that's all. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much. I'm gonna edit out the parts that I ramble. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share my page with your friends so that we can get my followers up. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!